Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it is, wherever you are. Welcome on in to this Link to the Past Randomizer League Week 2 matchup between Jet082 of Phendrana Drifters and Digidude22 of What Are You Doing in My Swamp Palace? It is an ambrosia seed, which means it's going to be sword assured, standard opening, so we're going to get to see the rainy night of Hyrule and our uncle. And our uncle is going to tell us where the boots are. So, my name is Westside Vandal on comms with this race alongside Professor Renderer. How you doing, Professor?
I'm doing great. Things have been a little bit stressful in real life, but I'm here to just sit back and relax, forget about everything that's going on in the world right now, and just watch some rando.
And watch Sahabat torture two unfortunate souls with a V31 ambrosia seed? Cool.
Okay, fair enough. Okay,
well,
fair enough.
Maybe that's just me, but all of the practice seeds I've rolled have just been the worst.
I mean, mine was like, my race against Korek, I outrouted him, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. Execution-wise, nope. He beats, he would out-execute me more than I would care to do in an entire life playing rando.
Yep.
But
and we're off.
Yeah, at least I outrouted Korek. I just outrouted him.
Yep. All right, so our boots are going to be in Light World today, so we might be seeing them a bit on the early side. Starting off with half magic in Link's house.
Very nice starts. Some very early magic.
A very early map check. Red Pendant, Tower of Hera, 5/6 Crystal, Eastern Palace, and regular Crystal Desert.
And this early starts, you're going to see a lot of execution-based movements, whether it be pumping, all that jazz.
Yep. Digidude must have had a slight issue with his controls there. Stood around for a second after dropping in on his uncle there.
2 heart pieces to start us off alongside of our half magic.
And now remember, this is a sword assured start. The sword isn't actually active until we've talked to our uncle. But I know that's tripped me up a few times where I'll be like, oh, I need to throw pots and avoid these guards. I don't have any weapon. And then I'll be like, wait a minute.
For me, it's just I keep forgetting that I can't just swing my sword right at the start of the game just to get those 2 bushes out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Digidude must be having some sort of problem with his controls. Keeps pausing at door transitions. It's either that or his tracker. One of the two. So that might be something to keep an eye on as this race progresses. If that trend continues. There we go.
For sure, Westside Vandal. Jet, of course, going towards that stealth room. Just line yourself up at the top of that first little tile you see, or wall, whatever, and then just sneak past it.
And there's our quick medallion. So, Jet has about a 2-3 room lead on Digidude. A little bit of execution, but just also a little bit of some of these pauses. Digidude is having to take at door transitions for some reason. And Jet already down to Zelda's cell, taking down the ball and chain guard, getting that big key. And also getting a small key. Which, I mean, we kind of need that because it was the last chest before we need that. Well, second to last chest before we need that small key. So you're gonna be seeing it at some point.
Yeah, the Dark Cross key is important within Standard because by logic, it assumes that the latest you can possibly get is Dark Cross. So if you can get it pretty early, then okay.
Yep. Different approach here to killing the ball and chain guard from Digidude. The pots coming out there. So, we've got 2 crystals in the light world today, one of them being a 5 and 6. So, we might see a slightly faster seed. Of course, now that I've said that, it's going to become a twisted logic hunt for the last item we need. But the light world dungeons tend to be a bit less complicated than the dark world ones. So having 2 out of 3 of the light world dungeons be crystals will certainly speed things up just a little bit.
And by that, I mean probably not by much. Just probably your typical 130 seed or something. I don't know, but
Okay, so Jet now already back into the darkness of escape here. Another thing standard mode does is it equips you with the cone of light for these dark rooms here, but Randomizer is coded in a way that it can do that without giving us the lamp. So if we come back down here after we leave finish the escape sequence without the lamp, these rooms will be dark. We did just see a bomb drop and another bomb drop for Jet, so he's going to be able to check the back of escape as well before he leaves here. Digidude has not been as lucky yet with the drops, but we'll see if he's wanting to even try for it, or if he's just going to make a run for it here.
yeah, it seems like the mice are part of that bomb prize pack.
Okay, and yep, even more bombs for Jet there as he blows the wall open, receives the Master Sword, 50 rupees, and the map. Alright, Digidude does track down 1 bomb, so he's going to be able to get that Master Sword and 50 rupees for himself.
Yeah, as I figured, those mice are part of the bomb pack. Yeah, because one thing that the randomizer also does in version 31 is they randomize the prize packs themselves, not the contents of the prize packs, that was in version 30, but the actual prize packs themselves amongst all the other enemies.
Answering a question in chat, the boots hint is Light World. So we'll be somewhere in the Light World overworld checks. Could even be in Kakariko Village.
If not, then maybe mirror checks.
Yep. All right. Tree pole, 5 rupees for Jet, so a total of 20 rupees. Jet gonna go ahead and check Lumberjack now. And just 20 rupees, so we won't need Aghanim 1 for that reason today.
Nope. Of course, that Master Sword in hand, just the lamp will do it for at least to get Aga into logic.
Our tracker Saveru, Saveru X, just pointed out, you know, Mimic Cave is technically a light world, which would be incredibly rude, but on brand for V31, I feel.
Yeah, V31 has been quite a wild one in terms of the logic that's been given to us, not even just before the league, but like in tournaments, dailies, if you watch those. Quite a lot of crazy nonsense happens on version 31 compared to version 30.
Nothing of note in the Lost Woods. So Jet gonna continue on down to Kakariko Village here. Digidude not too far behind here in Lost Woods.
Jet082 heading over to the Blind's Hut, starting off his Kakariko checks, and Digidude will be there pretty soon once he gets done with those Lost Woods checks.
And there's our boots.
You're right about it being Kakariko.
Yeah. I mean, Kakariko, when you really sit there and think about it, does account for a large part of the Light World overworld check, so... I mean, there's 10 in just these two buildings alone. Jet with the 5 here from Blind, and 5 coming up from, I called it a building, but Waterfall Cave. Or Kakariko Well, excuse me, not Waterfall Cave.
Yeah, that's all the way over north.
And there's the flute!
Very convenient flute. Gotta love the very convenient flute within Kakariko.
Yes. Alright. Other than that, just a bunch of bombs and some arrows, so... Jet pulling that flute out, gonna be activating it. Digidude, meanwhile, having a little bit of problem with the order of push stones there for Blind's basement. And at about 9 minutes and 50 seconds, the flute is active for Jet082.
Yeah, very convenient flute. Don't really need to say more about that. Just under the 10-minute marking, the flute is very, very nice. You have access to Death Mountain. Of course, there is that old man cave that's out of logic, but really it doesn't matter. It's not the most. It doesn't really rely very much in terms of the logic. I mean, like, I don't know what I'm saying there, but yeah.
It's also not that hard of a dark room to do. So a lot of runners will just do it while they can. Digidude is checking Bonk Rocks here, foregoing all of the lower part of Kakariko, which is an interesting divergence. The lamp is on the library bookshelf, speaking of dark rooms, so that's not going to be an issue.
And Aga 1 is not in play.
Oh, that's entirely accurate, yes. Just 20 rupees on the race game, so we're not going to need that. And away Jet goes to the dam. Gonna be doing the South Shore checks. Would not be surprised to see a water walk over to Zora's domain here.
Yeah, it makes entirely a lot of sense with that boots in hand. Being very active, like right immediately in the white world too, and doing the water walk makes tons of sense for Jet. Be able to get some get hobo flipper checks out of the way.
Water walk will also enable us to get to waterfall, the actual waterfall cave, because you'll be walking instead of in swim state like you would be with a fake flipper, which would require you to have the moon pearl. Digidude grabbing his flute, getting it activated. And sword beams take care of those mini Moldorms for Jet. There's our first bottle. And our bow.
So that's Eastern Palace all ready to be cleared out. Cicade also now in play.
Mm-hmm. So I could also see Jet going, just going directly to Eastern after this. Indeed, that looks like exactly what he's doing. He's fluted to 5, and he's going to go ahead and clear out Eastern in Saha's Closet here.
Yeah, this makes entirely a lot of sense, considering you get the lamp, you got the bow. You might as well clear it out right away. Don't have to worry about it. It's a crystal. You can full clear it. And happy times.
Yes. And it's just about as many checks as you would have been getting from the fake, from the out of logic water walk as well. And with the flute, isolating Ice Rod Cave is not that big of an issue. Also of note, book Pandora.
That also now opens up Desert Palace to be clearable.
Not quite. We do need to find a glove.
Oh, true. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, that's right. I completely forgot about those gloves.
Don't worry, I've done it a few times too. Usually while I'm racing.
Yeah, but so what I mean is you can open Desert Palace, but not clear it.
Mhm. All right, so while we are now in a dungeon, now's a good time to kind of point out one of the other things about an ambrosia seed that makes it a special thing, and that is that we know exactly where one of the 3 non-dungeon items in this seed will be, and that will be on Armos Nights, because ambrosia seeds have dungeon bosses holding on to a non-dungeon, i.e. not a key, not the compass, not the map item. So once we find 2 items in the front of Desert Palace here, Jet can just go straight back to Armos. Granted, in the Light World dungeons that generally tend to have lower item counts, well, never mind. Desert just kind of goes, hey, here's that, or excuse me, Eastern just kind of goes, there's our first item. So it's more than likely we'll see the second item shortly here, and Jet will just be able to go straight back once he finds that big key. It can definitely do some interesting things to routing if all of the items are in a dungeon early in an ambrosia seed.
Very much true.
All right, so we found one already. Looks like we're gonna get the full experience though, because that's the map, and we have yet to find the big key.
Big key was on the front.
Oh, whoops, my
Big key was
bad.
in front.
Well, we're getting the full experience anyway, because the other items in the vanilla big key chest. All right, Digidude, meanwhile, has explored Mini Moldorm, and he is actually going to go ahead and not isolate Ice Rod Cave here.
It works. I mean, Jet making the very going for the breadcrumbs, while Digidude want to be a little bit more thorough.
Mm-hmm. Both plays definitely an option, and that might be a pretty decent pickup for Digidude, depending on where what is on Bumper Cave when we go over there. Looks like he is making a decision on what to do next, but or having some sort of resurgence of that issue, but was not paying attention and got bodied by those crabs, which do entirely too much damage for a Light World enemy, I feel.
And he has 2 hearts of damage, and I've died to those crabs. I don't know how many times I've died to those crabs. Really annoying, but...
Well, looks like Digi's going to go ahead and also turn in that bottle to the sick kid. And receive the hammer!
Ooh, that's pretty nice for Digidude.
It is. I mean, Jet will more than likely go turn that in after he's done with Eastern here. But we'll see what Digidude decides to do here. Looks like he's going to follow Jet now to the Eastern Palace area. Jet taking down Armos Knights with a nice quick kill. Eastern devoid of items, but getting your first crystal at just over 17 minutes into a seed's gotta feel pretty good.
Yeah, Jet drawing first blood there makes tons of sense for Jet to just go all the way over to Eastern, clear that out. Yeah, it's gonna miss out on hammer and cape, but actually Jet gonna have an Ice Sword cape now. Get the cape, and then I wouldn't be surprised if Jet decides to go and follow Sickhead to get the hammer.
I would assume we're gonna see a water walk here from Jet first. I mean, yes, he will go to Sick Kid and grab that hammer sooner rather than later, but he's also right in a prime spot to just go ahead and water walk here. Yep, there it is. For just a second, I thought he was not going to do it. All right. And there it is. Nicely executed. So what do we have on our flipper checks today? We have one of our gloves on Lake Hylia. Oh, God. That's rude.
Yeah, that pretty much With those gloves on Hylia, that red away just makes it so it just mits.
Yep. Did Jet not open the waterfall fairy chest? Also shovel on Zora Ledge? You?
I didn't see that, but Jet is gonna give us our Zora check. And 20 rupees. Standard old Zora.
I'm a little interested in that. I mean, he might have thought he might get a health refill, which would have might have forced him back swimming because he's running back now. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. He didn't want to risk getting a heart refill and getting forced into swimming. Waterfall Fairy handing out free blue goos. Nice.
Yeah, having blue goo at the ready is very nice to have.
All right, looks like he is gonna be lucky enough to use keep the water walk, and is going to head up here and check Hobo now. That shovel is probably going to loom large in the back of his mind, though, because that could be anything.
And our Hobo giving out 50 rupees.
His entire life savings. Rude. All right. Now, Jet heading up to Death Mountain here. Gonna go ahead and do the old man rescue. We've got this, and we've got inside of Spectacle Rock up here that we can check right now in Logic.
Yep, we are able to see the top of Spectacle Rock. We will need the mirror in order to get that item off of there.
Chat correctly pointing out that Shovel can't be anything in the game because we know it can't be the flippers.
Yeah.
So that is technically correct, which is the best kind of correct. You have gained bureaucrat points this day, chat. So Digi is still in Eastern here. I don't know if maybe he caught a death or something.
Now, I'm thinking about the shovel too. It might be possible. It's not definitely. It could be. It can't be anything.
Point of order. That was hook shot inside Spectacle Rock.
Hey, we get to continue our Death Mountain climb.
Indeed, we do.
Yeah, as Serio X pointed out, it can't be anything yet. It could possibly be something later on down the road, like I don't know, Cane or Fire Rod or whatever. It just cannot be flippers.
Yep. Jet setting up the bomb jump here. Nicely done. Yep. Our hammer was on Sick Kid, which Jet has not visited yet. So he's probably going to be a little bit disappointed that he has to come all the way back up here. Unless Mir happens to be somewhere in Paradox Cave here.
And as I'm thinking about it now, we do have the necessary materials for an Aga Dark World. With the hammer being on Sick Kid, and we did find a hook shot, we're able to get over to Village of Outcasts.
We do still need to find a Moon Pearl, though. And the other glove. And as our tracker points out, Tower of Hera is a pendant. So it's not vitally important that Jet is not able to get in there at the moment. Glove on Ether Tablet. That's just wrong, chat. Speaking of wrong, not really much of anything in Paradox Cave.
Nope.
chat correctly pointing out that hammer is needed to get to ether as well. So
Yeah, a lot of things are being locked behind that hammer.
floating island, just a full heart container. At least we have boots and hookshot, so this spiral cave isn't going to take nearly as long as it usually does. Nicely done. All right, so what's spiral cave have for us? It's going to have a little piece of love. So Jet probably going to head to Kakariko, turn in that bottle, and just kind of heave a sigh about that hammer. It looks like Digidude is making the AGA 1 play, which this could be huge for him. Because we have lamp, we have we started with a sword and we found the cape, so we had the AGA 1 access pretty quickly, but we also found Master Sword in Saha's closet, so we don't technically need the cape.
That was actually the back of Escape.
Oh, yes, it was. Sorry. Good correction. Good looking at. All right.
Yeah. And that could actually mean a couple of things too. Now, Digidude, for his play to work out, you would have to find the Moon Pearl on top of the pyramid ledge.
Fair. This is a fair point. Meanwhile, Jet is taking the Book of Medora and opening up Desert Palace here. We do have that lamp, so this is it is not fully clearable. We still need to find a glove.
I made that mistake already, and so the best thing that could happen is if the glove is literally right here in Desert Palace. Yeah.
And small key on the torch. Desert Palace is just going to tease everybody here.
Good boy.
As Digidude continues to make his way up AGA Tower here. We already know where one of the gloves is. It is on Lake Hylia Island. So those other ones got to be hanging around somewhere. That's the big key. And there's our tempered sword.
Oh dear.
So the other item is glove locked.
Yep.
Because it's ambrosia. So, this is Digidude making the correct play, it looks like here. Going to AGA 1, unless there's unless like Moon Pearl is on Ether and Glove is in Hera. Or one of those two could be on Agina's Cave, which is one of the most overlooked Spear Zero checks. And it is not Nagina's Cave, so Digidude, looking like he might be sitting pretty here. Almost to AGA 1.
Okay, so now Digidude is at AGA 1. You want to guess how many blue balls that AGA can fire? Then go ahead. I'm gonna stick with 3 because it's always 3.
I'm gonna be nice and I'm gonna say 0, but all right. So here we go. The AGA 1 fight works as follows. The first one is always going to be a guaranteed red ball that you can hit back at him for damage. And then the next 3, I believe, have a 50-50 shot. It's either 3 or 4 of being, got 2 red balls in a row. 50-50 shots of being blue or red. There's
50-50.
one blue ball. Yes. And then okay, it's 3. So it's a guaranteed guaranteed red ball, and then 3 50-50 shots, and then a lightning phase, and then repeat. So Digidude already has 4 hits in of the 6 required for this fight, and we've only seen that's 2 blue balls.
And the one thing about this too is that the Aga balls are also seeded, so Jet will also have to deal with the same Aga fight.
With the exception of if somehow Jet dies. If he dies, then the RNG takes back over. All right, Digidude has defeated Aghanim 1, is on the pyramid in the Dark World. And that is a red rupee. So our glove is somewhere either on Ether Tablet or in Tower of Hera.
Yeah, and so it.
Or it could be. It could also be Moon Pearl. That's correct. I don't. Where is? Oh, Digi hasn't done the desert stuff yet either. That's right.
Right, and since Jet is gonna do that as well, I want to put my bets on Hera being what is required. So if it's a Moon Pearl, then we know for sure it's Aga required, and provided that the gloves provided the gloves are not on Hera or on either tablet.
Oh, chat just pointed out something. You remember what's on Zora Ledge? Zora Ledge has the shovel. What if we find just flippers on Moldorm, and the shovel leads to our Moon Pearl or glove?
Disgusting.
Yes. Disgusting. Oh, sorry. Anyway, Digidude now is making the same desert play that Jet did, so we're going to be seeing both of our runners heading for Tower of Hera here shortly.
Yep, and so again, the only thing for Aga to be required is if Moon Pearl is in Hera and there's no gloves.
So we'll be keeping an eye out on what we find up there here.
I like the baby Metroid on Jet's side.
Yes. That's pretty good. Alright, so Digidude about to receive the tempered sword, but also receive the bad news that the progression is not here.
Yep.
With that, Jet now using that save and quit point and heading back up Death Mountain.
I guess while we're talking about the bunny too, one of my favorite things about the Cadence sprite is that it's the same sprite as the Necrodancer, the character the Necrodancer sprites, and that's why I stick with Cadence all the time. I used to play Yoshi, but Cadence in version 31, instant favorite of mine.
Yep. All right. So Digi doing the Agina's Cave check, gonna receive the nothing here. As Jet is now up at the top of Death Mountain, about to, I would assume, read Ether Tablet. Yep, out comes the book.
It's a quick check before I go up to Hera. Makes sense.
All right, and what are we gonna see here? We're gonna see the Moon Pearl. Okay. Jet is just gonna take that Moon Pearl and go check West Dark World. I really can't fault him for this, honestly, but at the same time, you're right there. and the seed has just shown you it has the propensity to troll.
Yeah, and Jet
and
also
yeah, go ahead.
Jet also left out Hera, so that could also be that could if for whatever reason the gloves are on Hera, then we know it wasn't ag required, and Jet is probably missing out on something.
Well, and the other reason why I'm kind of interested as to why Jet decided to skip Hera is Jet already skipped out on Death Mountain, had to come back up Death Mountain a separate time again because he didn't have the hammer. Whereas Digidude is now going to be able to take care of most of this in one fell swoop. So if Digidude goes into Hera here and finds something, that's going to be yet another Death Mountain climb that Jet has to make.
And yeah, those Death Mountain climbs are not fun to do, just because it takes quite a while. Whether you're going from the west side, if you're with a mirror, or going to the east side. And there's flippers.
All right. So Palace of Darkness would be bow locked if we didn't have our bow already. Those flippers do put the shovel that is on Zora Legend logic. So Digi now lining up the bomb jump back over the gap in Spectacle Rock himself, gets it nicely. All right. So, also of note from the map check, which happened while we were talking about Jet's decision to skip out on Tower of Hera, Thieves Town is a 5-6. This is the other 5-6, and this dungeon is a fully clearable crystal. So,
and as Chet pointed out too, we still need that mirror for the mitts.
Yep. So, and as painful as this is to think about, we could find the mirror before we find any other glove, and Lake Hylia could technically be our our power glove, which, ew. All right.
Yeah.
So Jet continuing the trek through Palace of the Darkness here. Digidude grabbing Paradox Cave. We're on the lookout here now for like the mirror or our power glove. Do also need to keep in mind, no we don't, because both of our medallion dungeons are pendants.
Yeah, that could mean that Kane could possibly be in GT, and that could be used to find the big key on the right side, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, possible. Disgusting, but possible. Alright, Digidude receiving the information about the heart container on Floating Island, and it does look like Digi is going to, at the very least, read Ether here. So he's going to receive the Moon Pearl, and it will be interesting to see what Digidude decides to do here. We already know Spiral Cave is useless. Oh, Digi's going to just go into Hera first before he reads Ether.
Fair play.
Alright. Jet, meanwhile, looks like he hammer jumped over to the Dark Maze area.
Yeah, it's one of the more trickier bomb jumps because you have to line yourself up with like two Y position coordinates in order to get yourself over to that big key chest.
All right. No big key for Digidude. Oh, no, we did get the big key. Looks like he is going to set up the Hera pot, though. Jet finding the Cane of Burna in Palace of Darkness. Didn't quite get the Haripot line up, and Digidude just says, forget it.
It looks like he was trying to do the Koi setup. I typically do the Trickera setup, where it's just the bottom. You place the bomb on the lower peg, like the lower peg, like on the same line as the lower peg, and then move yourself up to the top peg.
All right. Okay, so Jet now continuing the trek, heading down towards Helmasar King. Digidude, meanwhile, continuing the climb up Tower of Hera. There's our small key. Does have Hookshot and the boots, so okay, there we go. I was wondering why he was continuing up the stairs there for a second, but it looks like he remembered. And it does look like the other item in Tower of Hera is actually going to be in that basement.
Yep, that is correct.
And the only thing we've found in Palace of Darkness on Jet's side is the Cane of Burna and the flippers. Alright, so Tempered should be able to take quick work of Moldorm here, provided he doesn't decide to just spear right off the edge. He does not. Second bottle with free red goo for defeating Moldorm. There is another item in the basement, and hopefully Digidude remembers he can read that ether tablet and goes and grabs that moon pearl.
Yeah.
Digidude's teammate, Scrub Casual, is just desperately trying to use telepathy to 10 minutes in the past Digidude.
Yeah, and Jet's meanwhile cleared out Helmasar King.
Alright, Digidude does get the coffee break.
It does give Digidude some time to think about his routes. That's typically what I do whenever I get a coffee break. Just spend time thinking about my routes. Just use that time wisely.
Indeed. Alright, so now Jet does have the Moon Pearl here, is going to be able to go to West Dark World and also pick up the catfish item here. We can't get the Hype Cave from here. It would require basically going around the world like Jet is going to be doing. Also of note, Jet is not doing catfish. Oh, doesn't have a glove.
Right, and Digidude found the silver arrowed bow, so that pretty much tells us right away it has been... It's 100% accurate required.
Alright. So both runners can breathe a little bit easier now. That cape is going to not be necessary for Bumper Ledge. Those silvers are probably going to make Digidude feel a little bit better about himself. Jet probably not going to be getting those. So if Digidude can keep this close, that could make a bit of a difference. Moon Pearl on Ether Tablet. And I felt that dead silence from Digidude just now. I felt that in my very being, in my very soul.
Okay, Jet, on the way over to Thieves Town.
Mm-hmm. And just jumps right into it. I didn't even see him do any of the Village of Outcasts, even.
I saw him do C-shaped house, didn't have anything. First chest was the Sink Heart, the only heart container in the game that gives you a full refill.
And that was bombs. So we've already seen 2 of the 3 items in the Thieves Town dungeon that are not, that won't be on blind because of the nature of Ambrosia. a very front-loaded Thieves Town here. A very front-loaded Thieves Town. Jet can now just ignore every other chest and just do what he needs to do to get to blind.
Yeah, this is very good for Jet. Having 3 items in the front, it's just a mad dash to blind, and you're good to go.
Indeed. So as Jet does that, Digidude is now hot on his heels, using the entryway to Hyrule Castle to warp to Dark World. Digidude with his Dark World map check. Green Pendant Mire, as we already knew. I would imagine Digidude is going to do much the same thing that Jet did here and just go directly to Palace of Darkness and see what he finds there. Jet opening up the attic, ignoring that chest because since it's Ambrosia, we already know it's not anything we need. All right.
Jets. Heading down the stairs, gonna get the maiden. Just make a mad dash over to the golden power light and fight blind.
Indeed. And still without the gloves, has to do the kill 'em all method of getting down here.
Yeah, this is rather unusual. Since Chet doesn't have, because of those gloves, he has to take a different path, and that normally that you don't typically do.
And also, a very good note from chat. This is the other 5/6 crystal, so Pyramid Fairy will be in logic after this. The Moon Pearl for chat was on the Ether tablet. All right, Blind, what pun you got for us? Rental agents offer quarters for dollars. Great. Jet appears to be on script.
Doing good.
A nice, clean-ish blind fight. All right. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your point of view, that is Ramalama Ding Dong in chat, which, by the way, A+ username. One glove is on Lake Hylia Island, so both of them cannot be in the pyramid because that would cause a time paradox, or a paradox of some sort. Or just mirror in pyramid, true. All right. A counterfeit single arrow of destiny and 3 bombs for Jet in the chess game.
Yeah, I'm more so thinking of the mirror being on pyramid on the pyramid because it actually would make the gloves that on the Hylia Island actually be are legit gloves, not mitts.
Oh, Mirror Mid, wow. Meanwhile, Digidude is just about to Helmassar here. And Jet gonna be doing the dig game. Anywhere from 1 to 30 digs, plus 80 rupees gets you whatever Alec Baldwin has hidden in his little fenced-off area here.
Which is also seeded.
Yep.
And it's obvious because if you play a spoiler log seed, it tells you that right on the spoiler log itself.
Yep. Well, that was way too many digs for a whole lot of nothing. So Jet gonna continue the trek here, gonna visit Mr. Stumpy here, and then check out Hype Cave. Oh, Mr. Stumpy says, "Here, have this mushroom."
It's still a fetch quest, so
Yeah.
at least it stays with Stumpy giving you legit, well, a fetch quest item for what was supposed to be the flute in the vanilla game. But since his shovel's all the way over to towards the Zora domain, yeah, Paradox.
Yeah, unless something happens to be in Hype Cave or on Red Bomb here, I would not be surprised to see that mushroom get looped in with the grabbing the shovel. Wow! Hype Cave, more like Kickstarter Cave. Shout outs to William Flagg. Also, oof, Digi did not get the big key in Palace of Darkness and has... Oh, that's just unfortunately painful.
Yeah, the thing is that, considering that the big key was vanilla, I don't believe Digidude picked up on that part of the logic, or the key logic, rather.
Well, I'm more just feeling for him because he had to save and quit and run all the way back now, apparently. Chad also pointing out that, well, no, Swamp Palace is not full clearable. We need the mirror.
Now, if it's here, then we're good. Close enough. It's blue.
Baba Diba Badai? Oh, sorry. Okay, so, ooh, Jet gonna be going ahead and making the play to Tower of... Nope, Flute, okay. I saw him go to Mountain Cave and I was just like, wait, what? He's gonna do the thing I was talking about turning in Mushroom here and possibly looping in Shovel.
Which is right.
Alright. Oh, there's a glove!
Oh!
Oh, that's ugly! That is ugly!
I have no words to describe it, but, like, why?
Oh!
Absolutely why?
Oh! It looks like Jet is still going to go do Tower of Hera here. I will also point out he's leaving that shovel at Zora Ledge. Oh, Spike Cave.
Spike. Yeah, Spike Cave. He's got both the invulnerability items, so makes
and
fair
half
enough
magic.
sense.
Yep, and half
That
magic.
too.
And boots. And blue potion. And Spike Cave has the mirror!
Why? Absolutely why? Why though? Why are you doing to us? Why are you doing this to us, Seed? Why?
Oh, wow! Wow! V31 Ambrosia striking again. Yikes!
Oh, this week's been crazy. When's Randomizer?
In 3 days. Thankfully.
Good.
Glove was on Witch's Hut, which was on Mushroom, which was on, and Mushroom was on Stumpy. All right, so Jet taking that mirror, and he is immediately heading for Swamp Palace. Crystal,
Which-
6 items. Can't blame him.
Yeah, it's the most items in a dungeon in the entire game if you don't count Hyrule Castle
Uh,
or GT.
Jet. I mean, Chad asking why Jet doesn't go grabbing the Titans mitts first. I mean, Swamp's full clearable right now, regardless, and Titans doesn't really open anything in the immediate area. Like, Titans basically opens up, well, I mean, it opens up ice, which we can't do because we don't have Fire Rod or Bombos, and it opens up Dark Death Mountain. And that's about it. I mean, it does open up, like, Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb. It also opens up Mire, which is correct.
Yeah,
But I feel like Swamp is 6 items and a crystal. I feel like this is a pretty decent play, regardless.
Yeah, it opens up the Mire area, and if Quake is required for Mire, then we can get into Mire proper. We can't obviously we can't full clear because we need Samaria. But keep notes also notes about the green pendant. If we find Samaria, then it's possible that there's 3 items. Like, there's gonna be three items because of that green pendant.
Yeah. Yep. Bill McD, yeah, the only way to get Stumpy was to go the long way around after defeating Aga 1, yes. And there's our Bombos medallion.
So either Bombos or Quake. Which of the two?
I'll say Bombos, why not? That does also put Ice Palace into logic, so I feel like Jet's gonna have some options after he finishes Swamp here. He could he's definitely gonna be grabbing those Titans, but he could then jump off of the island and go do Ice, or he can take all of those things and go do Desert.
Yeah, because at least with the Bombos, you can get through the front door of Ice.
There's the Swamp Palace big key for Jet. I have not been paying attention to item count at all in here.
I'd have to look at his I'd have to look at his inventory.
Alright, Digi, meanwhile, went straight to Helmasaur and killed him and is now cleaning up the rest of Palace of Darkness. Tracker pointing out there is at least 1 item left in the front of Swamp, whether it be in the big chest or on left side. Nice quick kill of the mini puffs there. And just 2 cycles needed for killing the big guy. Jet cleans up Argus pretty effectively. Gets 3 bombs for his trouble.
And yeah, we got that. I was like, wait, that's not 5/6. We already did the 5/6 crystals.
Yep. Chat calling for Fire Rod to be on the shovel. Oof. The seed's already done enough, guys. Come on now.
Yeah. So, as Sabrio X points out, really, it's Fire Rod and potentially the Cane of Samaria for Go mode. Now, potentially Samaria because it's likely that you would need to, if the big key is on the right side, we would need the cane for that. And I don't say left side because you could just use bombs or boomerang to get over to to pretty much everything on the left side.
Answering a question in chat, Silvers were in Hera basement. Alright, so Digidude now finally done with Palace of Darkness. Probably glad to see the back of it after the rough go he had of it this game. And is making his way over to Village of Outcasts. Meanwhile, Jet is heading over to... looks like he is preparing to go over to left side, so there must not have been anything of note in the big chest. Let's see here. Hold on. Sorry for the silence, folks. I'm taking care of something real quick.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pay attention to that, to whatever's on Jet's side. Looks like we didn't find anything of use other than a crystal. Okay, so over now to Jet. He's gonna get those mitts. Possibly gonna go to Ice Palace. And yeah, that's the play.
Yep.
Ice Palace.
All right. All right. Sorry for that, folks. Had to take care of something behind the scenes. Thank you for covering, Professor.
No problem.
All right.
Using the bombas.
Yep. Okay, so 3 items in Ice Palace total, because this is Ambrosia. One of them is going to be on, wow. One item is going to be on Cold Stare, so we'll be finding 2 in the front of Ice here. The bomb operating system. Pretty good.
I just gave it a casual nice because,
Yeah. A joke of that caliber deserves an on-air shout-out, in my opinion, so I'm happy to oblige.
Okay, Digidude over to gonna go and get the maiden out of Thieves Town. I was gonna have to take the longer routes because of where the gloves are.
Yep. And he is on his way
I guess
to...
somewhat longer.
Yeah, and he's also going to hopefully be on his way to the mushroom and the power glove that mushroom turns into. Nice bomb jump for Jet over in Ice Palace. All right. So we are still on the hunt for that fire rod here. We really don't want to see the ice rod, like, at all, because we don't need it for anything except Trinex. And if there's something on Trinex, then we're in serious trouble.
Yeah, that means ice rods. Something needs to be required. Can't be Trinex can't hold ice rods. Can't hold cane.
Can't hold fire rod either, which is what we are actually looking for Go mode. But I mean, I can envision a complete and total nightmare scenario where Ether is on Trinex, and that's what you need to get into Misery Mire.
Right.
But that would be statistically improbable.
Yeah. In general, though, Trinex can't hold anything of use outside of that ether, which if we're thinking about it like in a more realistic sense, then yeah, consider we have two medallions already, and it's a 30 or Quake, then yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I just realized Meyer could have Fire Rod, but Trinex couldn't hold the medallion to get into Meyer because you need the Fire Rod to beat Trinex. Duh! The seat has broken me.
I don't blame you, dude. I don't blame you. Anyway, Jets onto the Coldstare fight.
Yep. Using Bombos to take care of that Air Shell immediately. And also, it's the only way we have to take care of it at the moment. Kept the Puffballs pretty well contained. Pretty quick and clean Coldstare fight. Just for a little piece of love, though.
But that is another crystal for Jet. Right, 5 crystals.
Yep. Of note, I just realized neither runner has checked the front of Skull Woods. Granted, Skull Woods can only have one item in the available to us right now because Mothula is Fire Rod locked. But what if that Fire Rod has been hanging out in Skull Woods this entire time?
I don't want to think about that. And honestly, there hasn't been a lot of reason to go to. For Jet's case, there hasn't been enough reason to go to Skull Woods at all. For him, it's pretty out of the way.
Bombos, I think, was the Meyer medallion. Powder! More fetch quests! More!
Yeah, Magic Bat's now available.
That shovel is still sitting on Zoral Edge, by the way. Just FYI.
Yeah, and who knows that the Dig Spot had the Fire out this entire time, and both had left it out. But Jet is gonna go over to fight the Lambo fight,
yeah. And
it is possible that Lambo can have the Fire Rod or Cane.
Yep.
Because we have a light source or fire source. We have a lamp.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, 6th crystal for Jet here, and 1 item on the line. Digidude receives his mushroom from Old Stumpy here, and is going to be making his way over to Hype Cave.
Alright, Jet makes his way over to the Lambo fight.
Okay, 1 head down fairly quickly. Tempered makes pretty short work of these Landmo. Fire Rod, Ice Rod, or Silvers would make even shorter work, but Jet has none of those things. And still has none of those things.
Yep. And only thing of use in Desert Palace was just the Tempered Sword, by another crystal to Jet's name.
Alright. So yeah, we are just searching desperately for that Fire Rod at this point. Checkerboard Cave coming up for Jet here. On the line in this matchup, if Jet wins for Phendrana Drifters, that's going to give them a share of the lead in the Pyramid of Power Division in the Dark World Conference. A win for Digidude and What Are You Doing in My Swamp Palace is going to take them out of dead last in said division.
Yeah, I'll finally put him on the board.
Yeah. Alright, Jet now heading up to Death Mountain. Probably going to be doing Dark Death Mountain checks here.
Which is correct.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I was about to say it's 6 items, 2 in Super Bunny and 4 in Hookshot. Did we see Jet check Bombo's tablet, by the way?
No.
Ooh, both of our fairies giving rather useful items here. Pyramid Fairy giving us Fairy, and speaking of blue goo, I was about to say Waterfall Fairy giving out blue goo, and Jet goes and finds another bottle with a blue goo in it in Super Bunny.
That's a lot of blue.
Yep. Happy Village is now in Hyrule. There's our red mail. That's not blue. There's our fire rod. That's not blue either. What it is, though, and Kane!
Oh no! That's go mode's full stop! Jet082!
Jet082
Oh
in go mode at 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 45 seconds. Wow! Woo!
Oh boy! Oh, that's great. That is good.
Hookshot Cave just like, all right, you've waited long enough. Here's the rest of what you need. Go forth and conquer. And Jet doing exactly that. Flute to 3, portal activated, Skullwoods being run for. Digidude, meanwhile, is gonna go grab that shovel that has been taunting us all game. Unfortunately, it is not Chekhov's shovel this time around. It's going to be a red herring.
Yeah, because Jet pretty much just said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go to Dark Death Mountain and find our Fire Rod and Kane just out of the blue. Fire Rod first, showing us go mode. Nope, Kane, there's go mode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear. Because, oh boy. So we the first of our problems, like first thing right away, either tablet had Moon Pearl. Then Stumpy had the mushroom, which had the gloves. Then Flippers was it wasn't Pod, if I'm remembering correctly.
You are remembering correctly, yes.
Okay, and then there was that little scare with the shovel, if you want to call it a scare, but and then oh boy, this seed has pretty much just I don't it's so hard to keep track because it's like the places that you find it are in really strange spots that you don't think about it and like, oh wait,
and just because this seed is starting to feel sorry for us, that was one of the quickest Mothulas I've seen in quite some time. Jet082 receives his 7th crystal, and that's going to start the Ganon Tower Big Key guessing game, a staple of these randomizer restreams. 22 locations in Ganon Tower, one of which is going to have that big key. A number from 1 to 22 in chat. Which number chest do you think Jet will open that contains our big key? I'm going to go with my tried and true number 3 for this particular game.
Let's go 5.
Alrighty then. I suppose I should actually type it in chat. There we go. I'm sure somebody's already typed 3, but...
Same for 5, but...
Yeah.
Hey, we get 5 bonus points if we win, if one of us gets it.
True. Alright, so, Digi heading to Desert here to kill Lanmo. Also of note, Digi still doesn't have Mirror because he is not going to think Spike Cave. Alright, so Jet making his way up Dark Death Mountain here. Guesses will close once our tracker sees Jet enter Ganon's tower, so get your guesses in now if you haven't already.
Got a lot of time to do it, but that time is going to tick down pretty soon because Jet's making a mad dash over to GT.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as those crystals summon the ladder from above GT, I can finally say with full confidence that 21 chests and a torch separates Jet082 from finding the big key and completing this seed. Let's do this.
All right. $28 points on the line for the winner. Chest number 1 is our last bottle. Chest number 2, small key. And Jet looks like he's going full right. Yep, Candace Samaria out. I hate this room personally, but that's just me. And Jet's making it look easy, so great. All right. Digidude takes down Landmo, receives his nothing except a crystal. Chest number 3, bombs. 4, 5. Rip Professor Renderer and whoever, anybody else who guessed 5. Rip me and guess whoever else guessed 3.
I could go for some blueberries though, but
True. Fair.
all right.
Chest number, or location number 7, the torch. Nada. Bob Libs. I hear he lives right next to Bosch. All right. Chest number 8, 9, 10, and 11. Still nothing. All right. Chest number 12. Nope. Lucky number 13 on Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah, today is Friday the 13th.
Nice. Nice use of the boomerang and the hook shot there by Jet. Wow.
Stylish.
Number 13 is not it. All right. Shovel was ether. Ooh. Number 14 is going to be our big key today. I don't know what Jet was looking for by opening the rest of those, but okay. Slowpoke 316, the winner of the Ganon's Tower Big Key guessing game today. Danable Lecter, Lizzie, Ice, and Ice Goten also guessed. Oh, Silvers. Good call, chat. Good call. Also guessed correct and scored 5 bonus points. Slowpoke gets the 26 points on the leaderboard. GG's. Digidude, meanwhile, gets the mirror off of Spike. And just that fraction of a second of a pause before the save menu came up, that I felt that in my soul too.
Yeah, because that's you do not want to leave Spike Cave alone. If there's something on Spike Cave, then it feels so bad to just last location that.
Alright, so Jet now heading up Gen's tower here, the gauntlet, as it were. Digi taking that mirror and heading down towards Swamp and Ice and his Titan's mitts here. Chat pointing out that Digidude could not have gone to Dark Death Mountain. I was about to say something completely different, and then I realized you kind of need what Digidude just got to get to Hookshot.
Slam mode 2 down for Jets.
Yep. Does Jet even know how to do Silverless? Chat, please.
My two favorite rooms in the entirety of this game, and the entirety of the GT climb.
Yes. If you pull these off correctly, you just feel like the best at video games. And when you don't, you feel like an absolute clod.
Yeah, it's funny too is that Wizrope 2 is actually very trivial. It just put the block on the left, put the Samari block on the facing the left, and then just explode it, and then just do it upright to hit the other Wizrope, and you're good.
Oh, Digidude doing Smith's Chain. Ooh. Oh boy. Alright. Jet on through the gauntlet here. Checking these last four for silvers. Not going to find them. They're in Hera Basement.
Yeah.
Oh, got a little bit too low there and threw a bomb into the wall, unfortunately. Then went a little bit too high and didn't open the wall.
Yeah, that room is I have trouble with that room myself, so I feel Jet for that.
All right. So Moldorm 2 with a chance to avenge his younger brother. Well, he's the younger brother in another dimension because Jet didn't go to Hera. Does not get the chance regardless. And just for insult to injury, gets his lunch money stolen.
I don't know how to respond to that. Just why?
All right, Jet now onto the Geometry Wars. That pattern could have been, a little bit better. Oh, almost had a double there. Wow, these patterns are just garbage.
Oh, yeah, if I was practicing Aga, that would have been a reset for me.
And then that last one was pretty good though. That last one was pretty good. Jet takes down Agadem 2 and is heading into the big pig fight. 12 slices with that sword for phases 1 and 2. And then a third and then 1 slice per jump in phase 3, and then 12 spins in phase 4. And Ganon will go down. Digi, meanwhile, teleporting right on top of Gary, getting a bloopy, and receiving nothing. Okay, there we go.
Yep. I've seen it where that you could end up being stuck entirely inside Gary.
Yep. All right. So Jet on to phase 3. Quarter of the way down. Bombo's tablet check. Oh, hey, there's our bug net. Nice.
That solves that problem.
Yeah. All right, so Jet receives the news that the Silvers were in Tower of Hera and phase 4 begins. Jet also nailing the torch glitch. Nice job.
Going for triples here.
Do not blame him. Probably just wants this seed to be over. All right, Digidude now in gonna be heading into Swamp Palace. And Jet, since he has the torch glitch and half magic and more bottles than you can shake a stick at, he is just using the fire rod to relight the torch.
Yeah, this is just a cakewalk for Jets, and that's it.
Yep. All right, so provided Jet survives the most dangerous 1x3 bridge in all of Hyrule, he will take the win in rather convincing fashion for Team Phendrana Drifters. And get your GGs out, because that bridge has been survived, and Jet finishes in first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 35 seconds.
GG to Jet, your winner of the 2019 tournament.
And looks like he will be joining us for an interview. GGs.
GG.
JJ.
That was an interesting seed.
Yes.
Interesting is just an understatement.
Yes.
So that was a triple. Now I went up more, but I think that was a triple dip required Death Mountain. You had to go up once with Hammer to get your Moon Pearl. You had to go up again to Spike Cave to get Mirror, and then you had to go up a third time with Mitz to get your Fire Rod. Oh no, 4! It's a quadruple because you have to go back up for Ganon. Wow.
Woo! Spicy.
Not just that too, but the cane. If in the random event that the cane, the big key happened to be on the right side, which it wasn't, but
I was sort of hoping for it because I didn't know where my opponent was, but I'm like, if we're sort of tied and I continued, checking for silvers or something like that and got cane, I'm like, if it's in right-hand side and my opponent just leaves right after Fire Rod, that's going to be really good for me. So I was sort of hoping it was on the right-hand side, but it never is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So a thing pointed out by chat here is you went up to Spike Cave the second you found the gloves.
Right. So I panicked a little bit. So I was not expecting glove at all. I'm like, Mirror's got to be some. I was expecting Mirror at some point in my searching, and I picked up a glove. I'm like, what the heck do I do with this thing? And I needed time to think, and I'm like, well, I can do Spike Cave because I got to figure out what the heck else that unlocks. And I'm like, oh, it unlocks back a desert as well. So I'm doing Spike Cave just to give myself time to think. And I knew that was one thing it would definitely unlock. But I couldn't think of anything else. And I was feeling bad because I skipped there's one one item in Skullwoods I skipped Hera. So I'm like, is it one of those? Oh, glove also unlocked Catfish. So I had to think about it. So I just went right up the Spike Cave and I'm like, oh, Mirror, this is what I was expecting. So I felt pretty good at that point because I'm like, I just instantly went from glove to Mirror, which I knew would give me Mitts as well. So then it's like, let's just clear some dungeons, see what happens.
Yeah, and chat pointing out that you doing that play basically broke the seed wide open. So yeah, Digidude had some problems in Palace of Darkness that put him behind, and then he also went and he also went and did some other checks after he found that glove before he went back up to Spike Cave. So
that is an awkward position to put any kind of progression. The only thing that I think helped is that so little was unlocked with glove at that point. Because I was thinking of just going to desert, clearing that, and maybe if I would have remembered Catfish. But at the time, if Mushroom gave me nothing, I'm like, am I doing Skullwoods for one item, or am I going up to Hera for 2 items? Like, both of my choices did not feel good. I was probably going to do Skullwoods because I figured if anything's in Hera, I'm probably going to lose. So I was like, Hera's dead to me. Let's hope it's somewhere else. But yeah, I'm just worried the whole time Fire Rod was in any of the locations I skipped. But Hookshot Cave's not a bad spot. It's a nice, dense location. I was gonna, prioritize it after dungeons, which I did.
Yeah. There was a shield upgrade on the pedestal. Yikes.
The reverse pedestal.
Oh man.
So I saw the glove when I did Fake Flipper.
Mhm.
So I felt like this was probably an Aga required seed at that point. But I also really wanted Moon Pearl before, or Hookshot. I was actually missing Hookshot before I did that mountain. I wanted something to give me a reason to do Aga, because if you just go to Aga and don't have Moon Pearl, then you're checking Pyramid, which is what I ended up doing. It felt bad. If I had routed it slightly different to get Hammer first and then go up to Death Mountain, it would have been really good.
Yeah. I do remember noting that once you did finally get up there to Ether, you skipped Hera. And I remember noting at the time, because we didn't know where Glove was, obviously, either. We knew there was a glove sitting on Lake Hylia, but we were like, well, we still need this other stuff to get there even. So there's got to be another glove somewhere, right? But when you did Ether and found the Moon Pearl and immediately went to West Dark World, I remember pointing out, if something isn't Hera, Jet's going to be in trouble.
Yeah. And that was that. I was thinking the whole time climbing Death Mountain, I'm like, if I get Moon Pearl at Ether, I'm just gonna go. Like, I already killed Aga. I wanted to make good on that play.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, if anything, if I get Moon Pearl, I'm just leaving it. And if there's anything else in Hera, it's just dead to me.
Yeah. Which, luckily for you, the only thing of note in Tower of Hera was those silvers, which were in the basement.
Yep. Ganon taunted me. It's like, well, never getting those.
So, yeah, other than that, pretty clean execution. One of the fastest Mothulas I've seen in a while. But then again, at that point, I think it was like... my brain just broke, sorry. I think at that point, it was the game just kind of going, oh, okay. We put you through enough dumb stuff with everything else we've done this seed. Here, have Mothula be playing nice.
I mean, this was an Aga required seed and ridiculous Death Mountain, but it also gave us pendants on both Mire and Turtle Rock. So
Fair.
It was nice. It was just weird. Gave me a super early lantern too. No dark.
Yeah, I do also. How about that chain of events leading to that glove?
The second glove?
No, the first.
Or no,
glove.
the first glove. Because of course it has to be behind a fetch quest. It's never just here you go.
And not just any fetch quest, but a fetch quest whose fetching component required you to do Aga 1 and then take the long way around.
No. I had Hammer. I could have went south.
Oh crud, that's right.
I opted to do dungeon, so I did pod, and super happy that Thieves is actually a crystal for once. So I'm like, I'm doing that, and plus it was a Pyramid Fairy crystal. So I decided I wanted to route all that stuff together. I would finish Thieves and then continue south, do Hype Cave, and continue into Pyramid Fairy. So I chose to do that, but I could have opted to go south, and then I would have got Mushroom right away. I don't know if I would have checked it right away because I had so much to do in Dark World, but it was there.
Yeah. Fair. I think it's we must have just not been thinking about it at the time, because we were looking at it as, oh wow, we have to go all the way around here. Yep. Oh man, and as Digidude continues through ice here, but yeah, it's just unfortunate. Digi actually went to Aga before you did, and.
Did he fake Flipper?
He did, yes.
Okay. Because that knowledge of the glove is really what made it for me. For like, this is probably an Aga required seed.
Yeah. Actually, wait, did he? I can't remember at this point. But he went to Aga 1 earlier than you did, but he also had not gone up to Death Mountain at all yet. Like, he went straight to Aga 1. And we were thinking at that point, well, This could be a play because.
Oh man, Moon Pearl sitting at Pyramid Ledge would have been so good.
Yep.
I like never see it happen, but I've gotten it a couple times. You pick up Moon Pearl, you're still in the bunny state until you hop off the ledge. It's nice. It's pretty nice when that happens.
All right, so Digi heading, continuing through ice here. Yeah, it was a close race, and then Digi just had a few unfortunate execution things happen. He went into Palace of Darkness and missed the big key, and didn't realize it until he got all the way down to the door.
Oh.
Yeah. So he save and quit out and had to walk all the way back from Link's house, which wasn't as bad as it could have been because of, we had flute, we didn't have the ability to do it the way I was just talking about. So yeah, he had to walk from Link's house, walk up, transfer over to the pyramid, and then walk back over to Palace of Darkness. It was not good times. So, anything else you kind of noticed that we haven't talked about yet in this seed?
I don't know. Did I do something stupid? I don't remember.
I don't really have anything. About the only thing I had of note on you was, like I said, the when you got Moon Pearl and left Hera, having already come up there one more time than was strictly necessary at that point.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, if there's something in Hera, that's a problem for Jet, and that got invalidated when we, as the seed played out, we just found out. Well, I mean, silvers are nice, but they're not really required.
Right.
And then about the only other note I have is something for Digi if he decides to join us after he finishes here. But that could be a bit away here because he's still got a bit of work to do, and he still needs to go up to Hookshot Cave, which that may not come to mind until he finishes up here. All right. So this is going to put you tied for first place in the division. How have you been feeling about the league so far?
Shout outs to my teammates who are currently undefeated. Good job, guys. Keep it up. Carry this team because I'm not.
Okay, now I kind of feel bad because I just threw you directly under the bus. Damn.
No. Honestly, the league in general, I love. Aside from the main tournaments that we do, the league is definitely the most fun. I like having a couple of teammates. I have really great teammates, so definitely give them a follow if you guys have not done so already.
Mm-hmm.
I'll also give my opponent a follow, of course. I don't want to.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we can also do that housekeeping real quick. If you've been enjoying the league action, a large majority of the games will be restreamed here on the Speed Gaming series of channels, Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6. Follow the runners, Jet082 and Digidude22. If you enjoyed our commentary, I mean, we'd appreciate follows on ours, but, don't feel too put out. Oh, Digi takes a death to cold stare. Oh, buddy. Oh, he has a fairy, but that's just, oof. Our tracker was Seiryu X, who just, and there's another immediate death. Oh, gosh. Oh, buddy. And that's a game over. And I do believe that, that's a pause, and that is unfortunately going to be a forfeit for Digidude. I cannot say I blame him at this point. That is controller throwingly tilting right there. Can speak from experience.
Yeah, death and cold stares.
Yep, same.
Oh.
And then any action that is not picked up on the Speed Gaming series of channels, the league itself does have 4 restream channels available. They are at the ALTTPR League and the ALTTPR League 2 through 4. We will go ahead and get a brief word with Digidude here. He is in the room, and we'll get some brief words from him. Drag him on up. GG's.
GG.
GG.
Having a bit of an issue with the mic or Discord or something. Bear with us for a moment. Either that or he just wasn't expecting me to pull him up that quickly, in which case, my bad. All right. Whoop, there we are.
Hi.
We heard you for a second. There we are. GG's.
Jeez.
GG, Digidude.
Thanks. Oh boy, what a seed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are some pretty interesting logic chains and locations there. To put it mildly. I did have one question I wanted to ask you specifically. It did look like it got fixed as the race went on. Were you having some controller issues of some kind early on in the race?
Early on?
Yeah, because I noticed as the race started, there were a few times in Escape where you would do a room transition, and then you would stand in the room transition for a few seconds doing nothing.
That would be my tracker.
Okay, sorry. It felt like I mean I understand having to click over to hit a tracker because I do it all the time, but it just it did feel like it was a little bit long. So I was like oh dear, maybe that's something else going on there. So that was about the only thing I noticed directly for you. But yeah, those were some interesting locations there.
Yeah.
Ether tablet moon pearl, and then mushroom on Stumpy to get glove from the witch's hut. Okay. in for a good time.
Mirror at Spike Cave.
Yep. And then although you didn't get to it, the fire rod and Cane of Samaria and hookshot. So Jet worked it out. It was 4 required Death Mountain climbs.
I'm also trying to think. I don't think we actually got that much progression in dungeons either. Like, all of our progressions were sort of outside. I got bombos, but that wasn't required. It just made me waste time in ice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then there was nothing in Thieves. There was nothing in Skullwoods. I got a sword in Desert. Nothing in Eastern. Was there? Yeah, I don't even think there's anything in Pod.
Flippers.
First chest. Okay, 1 required item in one of our crystal dungeons. There you go. That's
Yes.
weird for standard, I think.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything either, to be perfectly honest. I think you're right. It was a very overworld heavy seed. Yeah, I don't really have any direct questions that we didn't already kind of discuss with Jet. But if you have any comments that might trigger something else for me to ask, feel free.
I liked my pod play.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I was thinking it, but I didn't want to throw you under the bus because I just did that with Jet, and I didn't want to be that guy. But yeah, that was unfortunate. You went down and didn't have the big key, and then had to take one of the longest walk of shames there is, all the way from Link's house, and then you can't even flute to 5 and cut off the misery. You have to walk up, transition to the Pyramid of Power, and then walk back all the way back that way. Ugh.
Yep.
Yeesh. Yeah, that was not fun times, unfortunately. But other than that, it was a fairly well run race. It was just that pod play hurt, and then Jet kind of panic went straight for for why do I want to say Skull Woods? Spike Cave. There we go. Words. Spike Cave, because he got the gloves and was expecting Mir to be the next progression. Got gloves and just kind of went, well, I can do Spike Cave, and went there first, and then followed that, and that just kind of broke the seat open for him, and that was just kind of the end of it. Unfortunately, it just kind of snowballed from there. But still a very run race. Very run words. Very well
run
race. There we go. Thank you. On both ends. So unless you guys have any further comments, we'll go ahead and send this one off so that everybody can go over to Speed Gaming Main here, starting here in about an hour, roughly. It's going to be Hyrule Track and Field, represented by TabbyCat54, versus Forfeiters Are Us, represented by Residador, over on Speed Gaming Main. Unless you guys have anything else to add, we'll go ahead and send this one off.
Well, thank you for the restream, guys.
Thank you
All
very
the
much.
Behind the scenes people like the tracker and the restreamer.
Yeah. Thank you to the Speed Gaming family of channels for doing a lot of the bulk of the lifting on these restreams. All of the dedicated community members who volunteer to be on the microphone, like myself and Professor Renderer, track like SavioX, and do it all without Speed Gaming's back end on the ALTTPR League channels. You guys are all amazing, because I've made a few friends doing this for both this and the Challenge Cup. The action has been amazing to commentate on from the runners. So give follows to everybody involved, and just go out and enjoy some rando, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.
Take care, everybody.